Alright, so whoever had Demon Semen on their 2020 bingo card just won the whole pot. The thing that stands out to me is the fact that it's in politics. So right out of the gate, I know this has something to do with Donnie Pump. Anyways, my name's Diedrich. I've got too many opinions, too many questions, and too much time. So I'm going to tell you guys who Dr. Demon Semen is, what she has to do with Madonna, Donald Trump Jr., and a $765 million deal with Kodak. Let's start with Dr. Demon Semen, or as she's formerly known, Dr. Stella Emanuel. In case you don't know who she is the doctor that was featured in a viral video recently where she made claims saying that masks were ineffective and that there's a cure for coronavirus and that there wasn't any need for Americans to die or people to die in general. This video was reposted by Madonna, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump Jr., and all of their accounts got flagged for spreading misinformation, and the video promptly got taken down from all social media platforms. Now, the big takeaway from the video was that Dr. Emanuel had claimed that she's treated over 350 patients using hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and azithromycin, and that this was the miracle remedy that could, cure coronavirus. This all sounds well and good. We now have a cure for this pandemic that has killed over 150,000 people in America alone. But that's not quite the case. Upon further scrutiny, it became very clear that Dr. Stella Emanuel isn't the best source. The reason for that being that she believes that gynecological problems gynecological problems are the result of spirit husbands or demons that have sex with women while they sleep, and that she also believes that alien DNA is being used to treat people and that the government is being run by reptiles. For months now, Donald Trump has been promoting hydroxychloroquine as a cure for coronavirus against the advice of Dr. Fauci and multiple top medical experts. Forbes actually released an article back in May outlining all the times that Donald Trump had promoted the drug since March. Trump's repeated claims actually wound up killing a man in Arizona who took chloroquine phosphate, which is an additive used to clean fish tanks, in an attempt to protect himself from the virus. Dr. Fauci, as well as several leaders in the medical community, have spoken out against the use of the drug to treat the virus, and multiple health organizations and governments in the European Union have stated that this drug is ineffective or has harmful side effects for some patients. So then why does Donald Trump continue to promote the drug against overwhelming evidence that the drug is either ineffective or harmful to patients? Well, the New York Times released an article back in April that outlined the ways that Trump and some of his affiliates may stand to gain financially from the public adoption of hydroxychloroquine. According to the New York Times, Mr. Trump himself has a small personal financial interest in Sanofi, the French drug maker that makes Plaquenil, the brand name version of hydroxychloroquine. Furthermore, Trump's family trusts have investments in a Dodge and Cox mutual fund, with Sanofi as the largest holding. But there are reports stating that Trump's investments are less than $3,000, which is less than 1% of his estimated $2 billion net worth. So this isn't quite enough to say that this is gonna be a big financial win for him. So then why is he pressing so hard about this drug? Well, according to our White House presidential trade advisor Peter Navarro, we now have a national stockpile of the drug, about 63 million doses to be exact. According to GoodRx, the cheapest retail price you can get for the drug is $6, but the full retail price can be as high as $158.62. Using the lowest possible retail cost for the drug, the US has about $378 million invested into a national stockpile of a medication that isn't proven to work for the virus. And even if we were able to assume that the federal government was able to negotiate a modest 50% off wholesale price, we're still looking at about $189 million invested into hydroxychloroquine. Now you may be wondering where Kodak fits in all this. Well, Just 2 weeks ago, Eastman Kodak, the photography company, announced that the US government has granted a $765 million loan so that they can become a domestic pharmaceutical manufacturer. According to Peter Navarro during a Fox Business interview, by the time this thing ramps up, 25% of the pharmaceutical ingredients for generics we need in the US is going to be right at that facility. The reason this ties into hydroxychloroquine is not only due to the fact that Trump and Peter Navarro keep promoting this drug, but also because hydroxychloroquine is one of the drugs that Kodak will be making ingredients for. This deal was made possible because back in May, Donald Trump signed an executive order under the Defense Production Act to invest in companies to aid in response to the coronavirus outbreak. Long before this announcement, Kodak shares were trading at about $2, and their trading volume was relatively low. But in the days prior to the announcement, we saw a drastic uptick in Kodak's trading volume, and we also watched as the stock rose $8 on the day prior to the announcement. According to Kodak CEO Jim Continenza, he couldn't explain the conspicuous increase in volume and that the deal was a well-kept secret. But this does not appear to be the case based on multiple screenshots from different news outlets that have since been deleted. Furthermore, when we dive deeper into Kodak's tradings, we'll see that Mr. Continenza had purchased over 46,000 shares in late June, as well as purchases made from Kodak's director and CFO. On top of that, the SEC launched an investigation last week that is now looking into how Kodak went about disclosing this government deal. So whether or not President Trump or Peter Navarro directly benefit from these transactions is yet to be seen. But everything revolving around this deal paints a pretty damning picture and creates a strong allusion to foul play. So what does Dr. Demon Semen have to do with Donald Trump and this $765 million deal with Kodak? Well, when we look at all these events in isolation, they appear to be benign and seemingly unrelated. But when you put the puzzle pieces together and you look at this information in their full context, they paint a very clear picture. The Trump administration has invested at least $189 million in a national stockpile of hydroxychloroquine, as well as a $765 million deal with Kodak to become a domestic pharmaceutical manufacturer. So all in all, that means the US government is almost $1 billion invested into hydroxychloroquine. So when you look at these deals in context, it becomes clear that even if Donald Trump doesn't stand to gain from it financially, he still has a financial investment from all of this. You know, we have about $1 billion invested into hydroxychloroquine, and it's in Trump's best interest to see a return on that investment. But even if that's not the case, it is very clear that he has some level of a political motive. You know, Trump's campaign has run on the promise of bringing manufacturing back to the US, but is it really the best idea to use a dying company to do it? Is it the best idea to use a company that has no prior experience in pharmaceuticals to be responsible for 25% of all pharmaceutical ingredients produced in the US? Is it financially sound to invest in a loan totaling more than the company's market cap into this project? I don't think so. Even if this was a sound investment and is in no way a political stunt, why would you use someone as crazy as Dr. Demon Semen to support your argument? If I was investing in a $1 billion project, I'd back it up with reliable experts in the field and data and research to garner support, not the ramblings of a delusional doctor that believes alien DNA is being used to treat humans and that reptiles are running the government. I think this is a very clear political stunt, and I worry for the effects after we look back in a couple years. Thank you to everyone that stuck around this long. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to hit subscribe and check out my other video where I talk about what happened to Kanye West. If you have any suggestions on things you'd like me to cover, then please leave a comment down below. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
You have a spirit husband, but you don't know you have one. Most of the time, some people get up from sleep feeling aroused. You don't know why. Or you get up, sometimes you feel bloated. You get up, you went to sleep feeling good, you got up from sleep just feeling funny. But you don't know why. These have touched you. And they take the dream away, you don't remember it. There are those that it's what we call astral sex. That means this person is not really a demon or Nephilim. It's just a human being that's a witch. and they astral project and sleep with people. She saw the man, and the man's male organ was a snake.